Let's dive a little bit deeper into all of the market action with our reporters. Abigail, get us started.
Romaine, I'm thinking about that shuffle near the record highs that you all were just talking about through the charts, of course, the technicals. This chart is slightly greater than 1 year, and we see the volatility, a bit of a range here, even though you don't see the bottom of it that started back in 2018. But there's that horrible volatility to the downside, the RSI or momentum indicator going well into oversold territory. This year's big move higher as we go into somewhat overbought territory. But a point that I'd like to make, we have the S&P 500 stalling out near these all-time highs, unable to get there, appearing that it's going to start rounding back down. That RSI now is on its third point of a lower high, suggesting that the bulls are getting weaker this as we go into that third quarter earnings season. Of course, Renita, this chart may suggest stocks could just cool off just a little bit, at least in the weeks ahead. Renita.
Abigail, I'm looking at McDonald's and Beyond Meat, which rose today. They're testing out a new plant-based burger in Canada. Beyond Meat is rising. It rose more than 10% during the session, recouped some of its losses, and it looks like McDonald's ended just around flat. But Beyond Meat has been a major target of short sellers, with about 40% of float being used to the company to short the company, according to S3 Partners head of research. And by the way, they're calling this new burger the PLT, which stands for plant, lettuce, tomato, not to be confused with BLT. Taylor?
Well, Renita, I am taking a look at shares of Micron, and the good news is earnings just came out, and it looks like a bulls win again, at least for Micron. A big top-line revenue beat, which is what analysts were looking for, $4.87 billion versus estimates of $4.56 billion. And then a beat on the bottom line. Fourth quarter adjusted earnings per share at $1.05 versus estimates at 48 cents. So again, analysts were really looking in the past few weeks. KeyBank, Cosentyx Securities, JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, always really hoping that this sort of would come and filter through and show that Micron can be profitable in what has otherwise been a pretty rough market for the chip makers. Now, if you want to take a look at a chart that I'm showing here on my terminal, a lot of this does relate to both NAND and DRAM prices. We do know that Micron gets about 70% of the revenue from DRAM, and then I'm taking a look here at NAND prices as well, because as you have seen, prices there in blue starting to bottom out, perhaps turning a little bit of a corner, and that hopefully then should be a boost here for the shares. So shares, again, fluctuating between gains and losses. Right now, it does look like losses. They're looking maybe at that forward guidance earnings per share that maybe analysts aren't too excited about, despite the current quarter coming in better than expected.